Goodbye.
So this week, the rumor is that if Biden had been president when the pandemic started, that it would have been handled much better than with Trump. So that's the big rumor going around right now. So what is your feedback and your comments on that?
Well, it dovetails nicely with our discussion of the Woodward book and the piece that the media has jumped on. And I find it humorous because, Biden, Obama were in office for 8 years. Their distinguishing feature was that in 8 years, they had the slowest recovery in American history. And so the fact that anybody thinks that Biden can do something better is rather peculiar and unsubstantiated. Biden's been in public life for over 40 years. I can't think of a single accomplishment of Biden's in over 40 years of sucking money off the public payroll. And and certainly he is the type of politician that marked my book as The Decline of America, even though he hasn't been president. He's been vice president, but he fits the target of my next book, which is still in development, but we're trying to accelerate development, which talks about what a waste that we have in the Congress and the Senate of the United States. And Biden, again, is Exhibit A, as somebody who's been in office for a long time and has increased their personal wealth and increased the wealth of their family, but have not really accomplished much for the American public. So I think, as I said a minute ago, Dr. Fauci is the expert on COVID-19 and the medical team that was put together. They have done the best that they could in a moving target because they didn't know this was as dangerous as it was at the beginning. They then went through this terrible 90-day shutdown. Consensus of just about everybody that has any sense is it didn't work. It was the wrong thing to do. And we've now hit a very sad milestone. I've heard unofficially that we may have had 200,000 COVID-19 deaths in the United States. Indeed, a very sad number. I do want to quickly add that number does not mean that people died from COVID-19. It means when they did die, they were considered positive or may have been considered positive for COVID-19. My personal opinion is the number is overstated in terms of people who actually were a fatality because they had COVID-19, a direct causal effect. So, but it's a very serious situation. And I think the fact that they're hiding, but Biden's handlers are hiding him in the basement instead of letting him out run around, in his apparently low energy level, I can't conceive of how he could possibly have done a better job than Trump did. Again, we're not saying that Trump and the American government did a great job. We're just saying it's unthinkable that a government under the leadership of Biden would have done any better, or Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer and the other loudmouths who run around and say they know how to do it, usually the week after something else changed and Trump's already done it. So anyway, but that's in terms of rumors.
The Decline of America. We will be referring to it from time to time because it is a great research guide. And David did a lot of research to put this book together. So it's all compiled for you. If you want to compare our current president with anyone back to Woodrow Wilson, how each one of them, how did Woodrow Wilson handle a pandemic? Because there was one in his day, right, David?
That was the Spanish flu. Correct, Sandy. Thanks.
Okay, so get this book and get it now before the election so you can do some research. So go get that today. And David, another great show. Oh my gosh, so much to talk about. And you are so you have so many different varied in the topics that you can discuss, and you do discuss, and a lot of information. So I love talking to you. It's very informative to me and also to the people who are listening to us right now as we live stream on Facebook, but also in the podcast, Saving America. So thank you, David Schein.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Take care. Have a great week.